About 3 hours away from the first pitch of Game 3 in the Twins-Astros playoff series. CeCe Gaines shows us what to expect when the team takes the field.
Hey there, Twins back here for today's game at Target Field. Tickets are sold out on the MLB website, but you can get tickets still on secondary sites. If you haven't already and you are coming out to the game, you can get this Homer hanky, the We Believe one that's been popping up everywhere, for free. So if you don't have one, you can get one today. First pitch is at 3:07, and these next two games are crucial. It's now a best-of-3 scenario, and the Twins like their chances with the loud home crowd behind them. They also like their chances because Sonny Gray will be on the mound today. He says there's excitement and he's ready to play ball.
Everything that we had gone through in October's past coming into this year had been well documented. Last week, to get those 2 wins here in front of an absolutely phenomenal crowd was amazing. To go to Houston, split there, you know what? Just 2 words for you. We believe, we believe. Let's keep this rolling.
Again, first pitch today at 3:07. Game 4 will be here again tomorrow at Target Field. And if there needs to be a Game 5, it will be on Friday down in Houston. For now, I'll send things back over to you guys.
Well, the Twins are keeping the celebration of their playoff successes going at Target Field. Randy now shows us what else we will see over the next 2 days.
Each fan will get a free We Believe Homer hanky. On the field, a pair of Twins Hall of Famers will be part of the ceremonial first pitch. Johan Santana will toss it out with Joe Mauer behind the plate. There will also be a pregame flyover featuring 2 of the Minnesota National Guard's F-16 Falcons. And Minneapolis-based vocalist Abby Wolf will sing the national anthem, backed by a quintet from the Minnesota Orchestra.
And if you're headed to today's game, Ben, grab some sunglasses. You might need some out there right now.
Yeah, and that sun is a little lower in the sky, so I mean, it's kind of, you'll be looking at it, especially if you're in right field, left field. So yeah, it is going to be a sun-filled day today. No worries about any rain that'll be delaying anything. A temperature still on the cooler side, maybe a couple degrees cooler than average. First pitch is just after 3 o'clock, right near our high temperature forecast for the day, mid to upper 50s. It'll be cool, sunny with a northwesterly breeze, about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So do dress accordingly. Temperatures right now, well, we just cracked into the lower 50s. Some parts of northern Minnesota still staying in the 40s at this hour. And again, seasonably cool through a good chunk of this week. That's really not going to change. Dry today. You can see a couple of very light rain showers up towards Duluth and the Hayward Lakes area. Some of those clouds might filter into northern Twin Cities suburbs and western Wisconsin later this afternoon, but should stay mostly cloud-free around the Twin Cities. That'll be the case over the next couple of days. But guess what, Rena? We have a very rainy day in the forecast as we wrap up the work week. We'll talk about that and if it clears out for the weekend just ahead.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Well, throughout the world, countries are lighting up their iconic buildings in blue and white, the colors of Israel's flag. World leaders say it is a show of solidarity with Israel people as violence continues in the Israel-Hamas war. It's led to hundreds of deaths. Israel now saying its border with Gaza is secure. NBC's Kelly Kobayel has the latest from the hospital in Tel Aviv.
Well, we are in a hospital lobby, the largest hospital in all of Israel here in central Tel Aviv, and this has been turned into a blood donation center. They were adding beds as we arrived. That's how large the outpouring is to donate blood. In fact, there's a line all the way down the hospital corridor of people waiting to donate. On the ground in Israel, the Israeli Defense Forces say they are amassing troops on the border with Gaza. They are continuing this counteroffensive in the air, some 200 strikes on Islamic Jihad and Hamas positions inside Gaza. They say they hit 2 mosques, one of which they say was a command center, the other a place where weapons were being stored. But for civilians in Gaza, the situation is increasingly dire. The United Nations says 187,000 people are now displaced. The vast majority of them are being cared for in shelters. There are nearly 800 dead now, among them more than 100 children. There are images of children being pulled out of the rubble of buildings by rescue workers and put into ambulances. And the UN also says that the hospitals are just barely functioning now, that they're running very low on medicine and on fuel used to power the generators to keep those hospitals running.
The ongoing war overseas is being felt here in Twin Cities. Gordon Severson spoke with leaders about the conflict and its impact here.
Saturday was the bloodiest Jewish day in history since the Holocaust, if you can wrap your brain around that concept.
Steve Hunnigs at the Jewish Community Relations Council says for Israel, the attacks over the weekend are comparable to Pearl Harbor and 9/11, an attack that is devastating and brutal, even for Jews thousands of miles away in Minnesota.
This is penetrating to the heart of the community.
Tuesday night, the JCRC is hosting a solidarity event at Bethel Synagogue in St. Louis Park to give community members a place to heal and come together. Hunnig says they're planning a special prayer for all the Israeli hostages who have been taken.
Old people, children, women, right, being taken hostage, being used as human shields.
Many here in the Twin Cities also have a personal connection to the conflict.
Total shock and devastation.
Rabbi Aaron Weininger at Adath Jeshurun has a brother living in Israel who found out Saturday night that he was being called to join the reserves to fight for his country, leaving behind his wife and 6-month-old daughter.
My sister-in-law and my niece are, hunkering down and staying safe.
Rabbi Weininger is also meeting with parents in his congregation tonight to discuss the attacks and how to explain the situation to their children. He says many of the kids in his congregation attend a Jewish summer camp every year in Wisconsin, and they just found out that a fellow camper who has visited several times from Israel was killed during the attack.
Helping our kids, helping parents in our congregation, and helping people of all ages deal with this new reality and deal with the unknown that leaves us in a place of wondering what comes next.
In just a few hours, several local Jewish organizations are holding a community gathering at Bethel Synagogue in St. Louis Park. It's open to everyone to show support for Israel after this attack and moving forward. It starts tonight at 6. Just hours ago, a Wall Street Journal reporter behind bars in Russia lost an appeal for release. Evan Gershkovich is being held on espionage charges and has already been in a Russian jail for more than 6 months. Today's decision means he will not be freed until December at the earliest. The U.S. government has declared him wrongfully detained, and analysts say Russia may be using jailed Americans as bargaining chips. Right now, we're waiting to hear the penalty handed down to a Minnesota man convicted in the January 6th riot at the Capitol. An hour ago, Brian Mock was scheduled for a sentencing hearing in federal court. The judge is weighing 11 counts related to the insurrection. Prosecutors say he broke the police line, shoved an officer, and threw a flagpole at them. We're getting a better look at the destruction left behind following a fire at a restaurant in Randall, Minnesota. It's the Stonehill Bar and Grill, and the Morrison County Sheriff's Office says the fire started just after 6 o'clock Sunday morning before it opened. As you can see, the building is destroyed. The state fire marshal's office is now looking into what happened. The president of a Minneapolis personal injury law firm is facing charges in a hit-and-run crash, leaving a construction worker hurt. James Patrick Carey of Edina is president and managing partner of Sieben Carey Law Firm. Prosecutors accuse him of being drunk last Friday when he hit a construction worker on I-35 in Pine County and then drove off. The 27-year-old victim was taken to the hospital but is expected to be okay. Pharmacy workers across the country are walking off the job, calling for better conditions. When we come back, we're hearing from a Minnesota woman who says she's walking off the job at Walgreens to send a message. Plus another Powerball drawing and no winner. A look at what you can do now as the jackpot increases.